Is your mom an Instagrammer? Well, my mom definitely is. In this video, I'm going to edit a few of my mom's photos and basically show you that it doesn't take fancy and expensive equipment in order to take beautiful photographs. So my mom lives in the mountains of southern Germany and she is a serious athlete. She is too humble to say that, but it's true. She literally climbed Germany's tallest mountain, the Zugspitze, in just 8 hours. And a few years ago, my mother signed up for Instagram. Up until this point, she had hardly ever done social media, and I had told her about Instagram and she was curious about it. So the first day that she was on Instagram, she uploaded like 30 photos all at once, posted them all within the same 5-minute time period, used no captions and no hashtags. And I was like, oh my God, you're spamming me. You need to stop. But over time, she learned. And now she is awesome at using hashtags and writing really interesting captions. And Instagram has really opened a lot of doors for her. She met Instagrammers in real life, people in the town who also did Instagram, would recognize her or she would recognize them. And Instagram formed this little hiking community for her, which is actually pretty cool because her friends from childhood that were living in that town didn't really have the same interests as her. At least they were not really avid mountain climbers like she was. And everything she did, every mountain she would summit, she would document that with her camera. And in her Instagram captions, she would give advice for hikers that were looking to do the same thing and basically talk about the trails and the experiences. Now, my mom is not a professional photographer, but I always told her that she has an eye for photos and that she definitely could be if she pursued it. But for her, taking photos has always been and continues to be a hobby. She takes most of her photos with a little point and shoot camera, a Sony Cybershot DSC RX100. I'll link to her camera below. I have never personally used it, but I know it's not that expensive. And she often uses her phone and her iPad as well. Take a look at her Instagram. The photos look pretty good, right? She barely edits them. I think she just does a few basic edits on her phone, and people love her photos anyway. But you know what? I decided that I'm just gonna take a few of her photos and do some basic Lightroom edits on them to demonstrate that if she did edit her photos, they would be even more stunning. But I mean, they don't really need it, but it gives me something fun to do in Lightroom. And I think I could turn them into real bangers. All right, so I'm just going to pull up a few of her photos and let's see what we can do with them. Okay, so let's start with this photo. I like this photo of my mom on the top of a mountain. Let's make it, a little more vibrant. So the thing that catches my attention here is the sky. There's already some color in the sky, but I think we can make that sky look even more dramatic and even more intense. So let's start by just bringing down the highlights. Okay, the shadows, they're probably pretty good. We can bring them up just a little bit. And in this case, maybe I would bring the whites down just a little bit. So we have to decide, do we want the colors of this photo to change or do we just want them to pop a little bit more? Let me see how it would look if I just added some pinks here. I actually like that. Make it a little bit more of a sunrise look. It probably was at sunrise. My mom is always hiking at crazy early morning hours, so this was probably early in the morning. Let's see, we can make it a little tad bit warmer and just a tad bit pinker. I like that. Okay, let's go down here. Let's play with this highlight slider right here. Sorry if I'm not that great at explaining this. I've actually never really explained a Lightroom edit before. I just kind of do it. Let's adjust these just a little bit. And then let's get down here, which is what I consider the fun part. Let's play with that blue a little bit. First of all, bring the luminance down so that'll really bring out those blues, but you don't want to do it too much because you don't want it to be noisy looking. The saturation can just increase it a little bit. And then the hues, I mean, this is really a matter of preference. You could literally bring the hues, in this direction and just change the entire aesthetic of the photo. You could make it a little more purple. Let's go for that kind of like sunrise look. So I'm gonna make it a little more purple here. Speaking of purples, let's see what we can do with this one. Let's bring those purples up just a little bit. Oh yeah, I like what that does. And the hue can actually increase that, make it a little more pink. So I like how this is looking. It's looking a little more magical. Let's go down to the highlights. I'm just gonna bring up the saturation right now, but I will probably change that. So let's see what color will look best with this photo. I don't have like a set of rules. I kind of just look at the different options and then decide which one aesthetically appeals to me the most. And you know what? I actually like the pinks. A little more pink there. Or sorry, not pink. What was that? I don't know my colors. Okay, now let's go to the shadows. We want to, you know, change the color of the shadows. Let me just make it really drastic to see. Actually, I kind of like that greenish look for the shadows. Sharpen it a little bit and, you know, reduce the noise slightly. Obviously, I don't have the raw file, so this is just a JPEG. This might even be a cell phone photo. It kind of looks like it. So do we want to adjust the clarity? We can, you know, that's a matter of preference. Sometimes I like to bring it up just a little bit. Sometimes people like to bring it down. So this is one way you could edit this photo. As you can see, it's a lot more vibrant. Let's just do a before and after. Before and after. So you see the photo looks a lot more vibrant and magical, and like she's up on a fairy tale mountain somewhere, and you know, an otherworldly place, which it is even without edits. Here's another photo that I edited of hers of the famous Neuschwanstein castle, and I applied pretty similar edits to this one. I'm not going to go through the whole process again, but here you see a before and an after. Kind of got more of that vibrant sunrise element to it. Now this photo right here, I don't even have to edit. I was asking her, did you edit this at all because it looks edited? And she's like, nope, that's just how the sky looked that day. So you know what? She has some pretty good photos without edits. So here's another photo that my mom took. This one is in the winter. Again, looks pretty good straight out of camera, but let's just make it pop. Okay, so you saw me edit one of her photos. Here are some before and afters I did of her other photos, just to give you an idea of what you can do with the tools at your disposal, which in my case is Lightroom, to just make those photos a little bit more colorful. So what inspires my mom to, you know, work on her photos so much, to take all of these photos? It's not her business. She's not getting anything for it. And I asked her, and she said she wants to share, quote, the beauty of nature and, you know, basically portray the feelings of feeling really small and insignificant. Anyway, I just wanted to make this video because I wanted to show that you can literally create beautiful artwork in the form of photographs with whatever camera you have. And my mom is the perfect embodiment of that. So go follow my mom on Instagram if you like mountains and nature. Just be aware that her captions are usually written in German, but you know what? You can appreciate the photos anyway. Oh yeah, and feel free to tell her that I sent you over there. She is literally so much more into Instagram than I am. Like, she has something to teach me about Instagram now at this point. Anyways, like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel if you are new here. That would mean the world to me. Enjoy this 20-second drone compilation of me and my mom in the mountains. Till next time.